Welcome to your next step up the self-publishing mountain.
I'm Matilda Swift, author of quintessentially British cozy mysteries.
And I'm Samantha Cummings, author of young adult books about magic, myths and monsters.
I've written the books,
Changed their covers,
tweaked their blurbs,
tried tools from a dozen ads courses.
and I'm still not seeing success.
Now, we're working together to plot and plan our way from barely making ends meet to pulling in a living wage.
Join us on our journey where we'll be mastering the pen to snag that paycheck.
Hello and welcome to Pen to Paycheck Authors Podcast. I'm Samantha Cummings, here with my co-host Matilda Swift, and we're here to write our way to financial success. We're two indie authors with over 24 books between us, and still a long way to go towards the quit the day job dream. If that sounds familiar, listen along for our mastery through missteps journey. Each week we cover a topic to help along the way, and this week we're doing a mindset check-in. But first, what are your wins and twinges of the week?
I feel like it's been a really long week again. I've just done a billion things. I can't keep track of what day it is.
Before you say that, it's only Friday. We're recording this early.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, and
it's
yet
not
still
over
it feels very like it's been forever since we last recorded. Yeah, part of it is that I am at the stage of planning a new book and a new series where I sort of did like a 0 or like a -1 draft where I did like a really detailed plan that includes a lot of like slips into dialogue, slips into sort of bits of description, and maybe for it's probably about half as long as the main book itself in places, and then when it's bits that I don't quite know what's going to happen, it's a bit shorter, but it's quite detailed. And to me, because I don't like have any, like you plan a movie in your head and then write the movie down, like I can't see it in my head, so like that's the way it comes to life for me. And so I'm doing that right now, and that is my favorite because you're not even having to worry too much about like the way you've expressed it, or some places you can, if you've got like a fun line dialogue, you can put that in, but you're really just like flying through the concept, which I love, and I am doing it right now with my book. I also really I've been doing it all week, so I think often I try and think I'm going to do that in one day, and then I end up forcing bits that I don't quite know, and I just put stuff in then, and it's like, oh, that's rubbish when I come to try and write it. So I've had a nice time around admin doing it and doing bits of researching, bits of thinking. I've stopped and planned all the book series title and all the titles in the books. I've done some image creation for some inspiration images. I've thought of all the names of the shops and the people, and I just feel like I'm really luxuriating in the world of my new series, which is just perfect. It's my favorite thing to do. So that has been a big win of the week. Other wins, I feel like I'm really back at the gym, which I know is a really minor thing, but just feels good for January. I've been to the gym twice a day. I went for a yoga class, then the way back just went and did some cardio. So I'm feeling very virtuous for January. And I'm off on a retreat very shortly. So yeah, I'm just feeling great all around. I feel like there are some whinges, but I can't think of them right now, so I'm going to pretend they don't exist.
You're beyond twinges.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm not, but I will start with my win. So my win this week is that I got some really lovely feedback from one of our writer friends who is in our Discord group. One of her daughter who read my book sent me feedback and it was just such nice feedback that it was really what I needed to hear this week, because my whinge is that I have not had a week go this badly for a long time.
Just life-wise or writing-wise?
No, writing-wise. And it's not a big deal, really. Mm-hmm. I'm just very set in my routines and my expectations of how my week goes. It's I'm just, just have the way that my days should go in my head. And I just like to do that. I just like to do the same thing over and over again. But this week didn't go that way. Just lots of little life things where I didn't get home till 6 or 7 some nights and was just so tired once I got home after having to make dinner that I just couldn't edit. And for the first day or 2 days that happened, I felt awful. I felt so bad. Oh no, I'm slipping out of my good habits. It's only the second week of the year and I've already failed. And then I decided that I didn't actually feel like that anymore. And I didn't want to. And there was it was just an epiphany where I thought it's not that big of a deal. I actually can catch up, and sometimes weeks just don't go the way you plan. I feel like we'll talk about this obviously in this episode. I just feel like I'm at a point now where my initial reaction is old Sam reaction, and then I remember new Sam 3.0, and it's okay. Like, so that probably nicely leads us into the topic of the week.
But do you have any wins? Or just winters?
Yeah, the win was the good feedback.
Yeah.
I also went for a fantastic walk after my day job today, where I had an hour to kill, and it wasn't pitch black. I left the office at 4:00. It was beautiful blue sky evening. The birds were singing. I live really close to some big woods, like some really beautiful woods, and like this big hill. It's a weird thing, but I walked down the road that is underneath the hill, and all the trees are just right next to you going up, and it was just so nice, and it felt so magical, and the trees are so old, and the village kind of just stretches out in front of you. It was just beautiful, and I felt like I was in the right place and the right time, which was a really nice feeling.
On a completely different topic, I actually forgot my major win of the week is that I had a book club.
Of course. Okay, yeah. It's just old hat now, you know.
Not to interrupt your like really lovely magical forest talk, but I remembered halfway through I was like, oh, I forgot I did actually win a big one of the week. And it was really good. Like I haven't had because my last book club that I had was a disaster because Amazon had a technical glitch and just didn't run the book, and so I spent I would say roughly 3 months in like relatively constant contact with Amazon, and they were like, we're working so hard to fix this. Like our tech team is round the clock on this. Don't worry, Jeff Bezos is on it personally.
Yeah.
At the end of 3 months, they're like, oh, we don't really know. It's probably fine. And it's like, you just. I was very infuriated, and then I just felt really put off, and like I don't want to, because you lose the money, right? Like it's not BookBob's fault that you couldn't run the book. So you lose the money. And they offered me to run it again, like without having to go through selection process again. But I was like, I can't face like having it fail again because I have to pay again. I was like, I'm just going to start again with a new book. I ran a couple of other book clubs to test it. So it's like my first big like putting my toe back in. It was on a book that was out just under a year ago, first in series. I got 99 cents US only, like the perfect option because then you get all the money for the most rabid audience, and it paid back within like 2 days for the whole promo stack. And yeah, page reads are like a literal vertical line going up on my page reads graph, which is just delightful. And just feels like getting people into the series can only be good. So there's now 6 books in the series, which feels like a good number as well to have people get my own on them. And I'm hoping I'll see some good read through. So that felt like such a win, like more than just like having a book club go well. It felt like a win in that like it had gone so badly last time, or like hadn't gone.
Yes.
And the time before, like I had a book club when it was really close to the KU renewal date, and so I couldn't put it on a KDP countdown. I had to put it on a manual one, so I lost money on that. And it's like this is my first one. I was like, dream, like ease, just went well, paid itself back within 2 days. No worries. Live in the book club dream. So yes, that is my real one of the week.
Right place, right time for both of us.
Yeah. Yes, so I am in a positive mood today, but we are talking about serious stuff. That is just my transient feeling right now. We want to look at some big stuff today. We're talking about mindset. Is there anything in particular we're going to be talking about?
Well, my plan was to listen to our old mindset episodes and see how far we've come. And I was partway through listening to one of them, and then I thought, I don't think this is helpful. I'm not really taking this in. It didn't feel important. I think that like it just didn't feel important to listen to. And I was listening to us like talk about stuff, and I wasn't even really paying attention. I mean, it is my fault because I was listening to it at work, and I can't listen to podcasts whilst I'm at work because I can't. I'm literally splitting my focus between like 6 things because I still join in conversations. It's just chaos. But it just wasn't. It just didn't seem like as I was listening to it, I just thought, I don't actually think this is what I need right now. I don't need to listen to past issues. I just need to personally be here and try and feel my feelings now. And that's kind of where I am. How about you?
Yeah, I didn't have any intention to listen to past episodes because I do feel like it's almost even if we'd had like a regular monthly episode on mindset, like we would never be talking about the same parts of it at all, because we use mindset as like a really big catch-all term to just mean like what's inside your brain, how are you thinking about things. And recently we've been focused on money. In the past we've been focused on like trying to think of ourselves as successful and like trying to get past kind of blocks in imposter syndrome. Other times we've had things that are quite like focused on being seen, and so I think if we had really regular episodes, they'd be on really different things, but it might have like a sense of continuity. But I think there's no continuity to our previous episodes. I think we're just trying to get a snapshot of like where we are. What is there anything that like maybe we're not quite facing up to, or that's holding us back, or even just like things that we've had epiphanies over recently. Like I think I mentioned off air last week we were talking. I had a couple of days the week before where I felt like very shaky and like a sense of lack of certainty in myself and that I would be able to make money from my books. And like I really felt like, oh, this has all been a terrible mistake. I'm never going to make any money. And I think what was notable about that was like I hadn't felt that way in ages. I was like, oh, I forgot I used to feel this way all the time. And now I just like that was a really unusual, notable day. Yeah, and that's not saying I'm walking around at the moment feeling like, oh, I'm so successful, I'm amazing, I'm doing phenomenal. I think actually I just feel more realistic. Like I think what I feel is a more authentic, like every podcast I listen to, everything that I read at the moment, I went to a course earlier, did like a workshop or listened to a webinar from Nicholas Eric. Everything that I am consuming at the moment, I can almost see how I would have perceived it differently a year ago, 2 years ago. And now I feel like I've got the organization system in my brain set up to actually take the information and be like, oh, okay, I know where to store this. Whereas before it just felt like it was just a jumble of like, I was taking all the same information, but I wasn't doing anything with it inside my head. I was trying to just like keep learning because I was like, I know learning for me is the key to getting somewhere, but I just didn't have anywhere to put the information or anything to do with it because I was just like, and now what? Like I've just heard 10 conflicting things. Now what do I do? Whereas now I feel like every time I listen to something, I'm like, okay, I know where that's going. Even if it conflicts with something, it's like, okay, I put those 3 things side by side. I come back and I think about them, and then I take some action. It just feels so different. I feel like I'm setting myself up for success. Not that I am some like,
You've
Billy
made
Big
it.
Boots.
I actually am fine now. I have no mindset issues whatsoever. That's something that I don't want to come across as saying like as seeming like I think I've got it all figured out, because I feel the same in that I really feel like I understand what I'm doing now. I understand what I want from like my life, and I understand what's gonna make that happen. So I feel like I've got to this point where everything feels like it's in the right place. I feel like I'm in the right place. I feel like I've absorbed so much information over the last 3 years, 2 to 3 years, that now it's starting to, like you say, you hear things, people talking about things, and you read things, and it all of a sudden you just know. It's like learning a language. I know you don't learn languages, but it's like when you learn a language and all of a sudden
I'm not good at it, but
but this is how I learn. And I've got like 2 examples of this. One is in my day job. When we first started doing this podcast, my day job changed as well, and I got like a promotion. And at the time I would be going into meetings and people would be talking, and I would just sit there and listen to what everyone was saying and think, I have no idea what they're talking about or how I'm going to fit into this. Like I had no idea. And today I went into a meeting and understood everything, contributed to the conversation, and was like an integral part of the project. And I had like an epiphany today about how that felt to think a few years ago, even last year, even 6 months ago, I thought, I don't understand what this job is that I've got or how I fit into this company. And I was scared that they would realise that I shouldn't be there. And someone was going to say, actually, Sam, we don't need you anymore. And today it was completely the opposite. And equally, sometimes, this is like a really long-winded way of talking about this, but sometimes when I'm learning French, to go back to the language thing, I'll have a week when I'm learning French where nothing makes sense. And I've been learning French for years. And sometimes I'll have a week where I don't understand a single thing. At every lesson, I'm getting everything wrong, and I can't figure out like how the week before I knew all the words, and this week I don't know any. And it feels like I've lost everything, and I don't know if I'll ever get it back. And then the next week, it'll make sense again. And I feel like that's where I'm at. And it's like, and that is just obviously how I learn. And I'm happy, like I'm okay with that. So I don't feel like I've got everything figured out, but I'm okay with that whole thing of understanding how my brain works.
Yeah, I mean that is the key, right? Is like understanding how your brain works. And like I know, like tomorrow is my Zumba class, and every single week I go and I'm like, oh, we've never done this song before, and then halfway I was like, oh, we did this last week. And like it's not even that I don't remember the moves, I don't remember ever having heard that song before in my life. And like there's just some things I don't learn, right? Like languages and apparently dance moves.
Songs, yeah.
Yeah. There's one of the songs where everyone in the class seems like know it. I know all the words, like know as if it's a song they've heard before. And I was like, every week I'm like, I don't think this is a real song. This is not a song that I've heard outside anyway. There's just it's from a parallel universe, this summer class, which has a different musical history to mine. But yeah, and it's just knowing what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I think both of us are quite similar, that we've got a lot of high learner strengths, so like lots of like learner intellection, all those things where I think not a problem. A thing that has really felt tricky is like some people who don't have those in the same combinations and the same like way they work together seem to just like drop straight into self-publishing and like do XYZ, publish a book, make some money. And I'm like, what are you looking at? To me it just looks like a jumble here. There's like it's like someone's dropped 1,000 beads and has told you to count them, and someone's like, count that. It's like I can't even see the beads.
Is exactly. I have put that. I made some notes. Obviously, I always make notes before the episode. But exactly because of that, my brain is so jumbled up all the time. And I do see it as a superpower because I can multitask like nobody else, and I have a million tabs open in my brain, and I'm 100 different people every day. And I like that about my brain, but the hundreds of beads on the floor and trying to figure out what order you're supposed to pick them up in, that is exactly how I feel. One of my big problems is that I really overthink. I try and think about everything all at once.
Yeah. And like try and hold it in my head all at once, then try and figure out like how does it fit together though? When I know that, then I can start.
Yeah, I think like I have to fix everything. I have to figure it all out. Every single thought that I've had, I make a list and I think, okay, now let's do this list and figure everything out on this list right now. Don't spread it out over a year or a few months. Figure it out now. because you've had the thoughts, and every single thought that you've had is valid and necessary and urgent to this moment right now. And that is by far, I think, my right now feels like my biggest problem is the million beads.
I don't know that it is, right, because I think some people are just like confidently picking up some beads to start with, which if you had to count them or organize them or collect them together in some way, like that's a valid way to do it, rather than you and I would be stood there like assessing all the beads for quite a long time and making a plan and maybe having a think about it and like coming up with lots
trying
of
to see the pattern. I think there's a pattern in the beads. Like, what am I supposed to be seeing? Is this a magic eye?
Can't see magic eyes, there's no help to me.
I'm great at them.
Whereas like some people would be like, you know what, that's a good looking bead, let me start with that bead. And we've talked about this many times before, right? Like I think we had the example of there are like sort of two types of students I had in Hong Kong, where some of them they learn every single thing very thoroughly and they go in a very narrow path to learn that whole path really thoroughly, and they seem to be far ahead of the students who learn very broadly for a long time, and then they absolutely get leapfrogged because the students who've learned broadly, when they finally put everything together, they have a much better and more advanced range of skills that they can do more with than the students who just went down a narrow band. And I feel like now we're coming to stage where we're bringing stuff together. I know we've had that exact thing before, but I'm feeling it, right? It's not just that it's true. I actually feel the truth of it right now.
Yeah, it is funny how I've heard people say this before, that where you know when you're at a change point, you know when something's about to happen. And I know I do like to pretend I'm like psychic, but I think I am actually psychic.
I think you might be.
I think I might be psychic. But it really does, like, I've never felt this sure that big changes are going to happen. And obviously that's what you want to feel because you put in the work. Like, we've been doing this for years and years. And there is the obvious thing of, well, of course something's going to happen. You've been doing the work. But it's not just being in the game for a while. It's being in the game, doing the work,
with
pushing
purpose.
pushing forwards with purpose, even during the times where we didn't feel like we were getting anywhere. And now I feel like I really do, and I feel like I keep saying this, but I really do feel like I'm about to open a door, and there's like a big surprise party waiting for me, and everyone's gonna be like, "You did it!"
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, I feel like I'm gonna open a door, and everyone's gonna like greet me as if I'm like Taylor Swift. Like, I feel like I'm meant to be opening this door, and people are gonna be so excited on the side, which feels really weird, and it's not a way I've ever felt about anything before. Like I think writing this Christmas series, it sounds like such a weirdly trivial thing, right? Like, I'm just writing a Christmas series at Christmas, but it is so much like, and the series itself, everything in it is like so authentic, and it's like things that I really care about. Like, the character has got a growth arc, and it's like things that I think about all the time, things that I feel like we don't see enough in books, and I don't necessarily know that's going to resonate with the audience in the way that like a slightly more stereotypical cozy would do. But I'm fine with that. And like, I just randomly bought a domain name the other day that like goes with this plan, because it came up and I was like, 100% I know what I can do with that. And I've got other big plans to do, like a YouTube channel, a Facebook page, and I might not do it all, but like I kind of having these big ideas and having them sort of jumbling around in my brain just feels like so much bigger than anything I've thought of before, which would have been in the past just like try and write something to market.
Yeah, it's like an organic progression as well. I think sometimes when you get on the right trail, then it doesn't seem like you're cutting your way through a jungle. I feel like I talked about this last week. It feels like you're on the path rather than in the thick of the woods. Because I had a similar thing this week where I had an idea to do something which I'm not ready to tell people. And I talked about this in Discord. It was like a very like hush hush, wink wink. Yeah, like I've done something and it's 100% for me, but I also feel like other people will like this. And it felt like, and I'll talk about this at some point in the near future, but I felt like I stumbled onto something that was so obvious. And it's like you with your Christmas story. It feels so obvious and so already a part of me that when I decided to do this thing, I thought, oh, this is so good. I love this so much. And it feels like a natural step. And this week, even though like I had loads of things that felt like they'd gone wrong, this week actually has felt like a shift. God, did anybody think that this would be such a positive episode?
I mean, that's amazing. It's stuff like we never have positive mindset episodes. They're always like, we need to get therapy. What's wrong with us?
Because I always think that, I always feel like I must be wrong. Or there's something that I'm supposed to be fixing, but actually...
And everyone else understands what's going on and I don't.
Yeah. Like there's loads of things that I could fix about myself, but at the same time, I'm also the best person that I know.
Yeah.
So, like, it's fine. I'm just trying to be really a lot more honest. I really want to be more of myself. Again, I feel like I've said these things recently. Like, I really want to feel like I'm more of myself than I've ever been. And that version of myself is not self-critical for no reason whatsoever. Like, I don't want to be the sort of person that's just looking at every fault and mistake that I make and labouring over it and trying to figure out what I could have done better. Like, I don't want to be that person. I've never been that person. And it's so easy to fall into the trap when you're doing something that is like feels so personal, to write a book and have people tell you it's good or bad. It's so difficult. And I don't need to be another person piling on, even though like people don't pile on me, but you know, like I don't need to bring more negativity to something that has potential to have a lot of negative things come about. I just don't want to be that person. I want to be like the person I am in my head out loud.
Yeah.
And I do
Yeah,
feel
and
like
I feel like right now the big change for me is like I feel like I'm fine with people being negative about what I write, and for ages I felt fine about that because I wasn't that in like personally invested, like I'm personally present in the books that I wrote. And now I'm like, I can write a book where it's about something I really care about. And like, I'm not saying Christmas, I mean the character arc, though I do really care about Christmas.
yes, of course.
But I feel like I can write about something that I feel is authentically something I care about. And if people don't like it, that's fine. And like I'm ready now to kind of put something authentic out there and be fine about it, not being well received. Yeah, I had another point as well that's going to make us really good as an epiphany.
I'm sure.
Oh yes, and it was sort of on the line of authenticity. I realized the other day, like I felt so at ease with social media, and that just felt like we had 1,000 conversations where I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna do it once a day. I can do this. I promise you. And you're like, just do it. And it's never hard. It's like, I'm doing it. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I hate it. I'm never going on social media again. And now I post 3 times a day, and it's not hard. And one of those is a daily, just like 1 to 2 minute video of me updating about my writing process. And it's unthinkable that I would have done that 2 years ago. Like I just genuinely thought people couldn't possibly be interested, and maybe they're not, but that doesn't cross my mind now. That's
Well,
like, here's the thing I want to post. Yeah.
I like them. I'm always interested.
But it's like, yeah, here's the thing I want to post. It's a thing I think has value, and that's enough for me. I don't feel like I will have any unpleasant worry about people not liking it. Like I think I'm very, for various reasons, like hyper aware of criticism and wanting to not be a failure and like want to succeed. Don't know if anyone's noticed about me, guys. I kept it pretty secret. But that was part of me not wanting to be on social media, was like I didn't want to open myself up to that. And now it just feels like I'm opening myself up more and I care less. And that feels like such a change and such a weight off me. It's amazing.
Yeah. And you're so good at it. Like, you're so natural. Whenever I see your videos, I always feel like whenever I make videos talking to a camera, I feel like I can't quite reach the person that I want people to see. And that's obviously, that is a mindset thing. Like, I've got a weird block where as soon as I put the camera on me, I don't know. I'm fine on stories, but as soon as, and I've said this before, like all these things just coming back up, I'm fine on stories. I love doing stories on Instagram and love a good chat and just to really bore people to death with whatever I feel like at the time. But as soon as I go to do a post, a reel or something, I feel like I don't mean to be, but I'm putting on some sort of persona. And that's something that I really want to work on, because I love talking to the camera. That is, I want my own TV show, but how do I drop the facade? I don't know. It's that
you can definitely see you taking on the Kelly Clarkson show, and keep the name. It's got some gravitas to it. Keep the singing sessions, just
the singing, of course. Yeah. And her outfits, please.
I think what's interesting is like in your stories, you are really free and you talk quite very naturally. And in the videos that I make, I find it much easier to talk about a thing, and like I really constrain myself. And so I found it really easy to start at Christmas when I had 2 video series at Christmas, and the one that was on my socials was every day I scratched off an advent calendar number, and it had a book underneath. And I just talked about the book I'd read yesterday and the book I was going to read. And that was it. And that just gave me a focus. And within that, I also mentioned like things I was going to do later that day, what I was doing Christmassy, about my Christmas jumper I was wearing. But there was quite a narrow focus of what I could talk about. And I think from that, it really made me see how that narrow focus helped me. So my videos now are just about what's my writing life in like today? And like what's something I have done interesting that I could talk about in writing today. And it's quite narrow, and obviously it contains a lot of my cats and a lot of like my little village and my life like that. Like a lot of my social object type things come into that, so it's a lot of practice. Like this is now 2 years in the making of like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's because in my day-to-day life, a lot of my time is obviously still taken up going to another office, and when I get home, my days are so scheduled because I don't only have a limited amount of time. I feel like I have nothing to show because I literally am going home, cooking dinner, getting on my laptop, watching Hell's Kitchen, which is my current obsession, and then going to bed and reading in bed and then waking up and doing the same thing. It's just very like, I even sometimes film myself doing stuff or talking to the camera and I stop and I say, that's so boring, and I delete it. I legitimately just think, whilst I'm doing it, I think, this is so boring, delete.
Yeah. I mean, I 100% think like a large amount of my like ability to do more like this just comes from having quit my job, from not having a day job and having that extra creative energy to just feel at ease and like to almost like just compose something in my head. And like I never compose in my head because I don't even make notes for this podcast. But it's like the back of my head is working on it. The back of my head is like thinking during the day at some point, like, oh, I can make a video about this. But previously I just never had the energy for that. Like I had no spare creative mental energy. And like making social media posts is creative. And loads of things that I do now, like the things I'm doing towards my Christmas series, it's come. I mean, that's why I put Christmas series off until I really was planning to quit. Is like it takes up so much extra creative mental energy to think of a series like this, more than just a straight down the line to market culinary cozy, where there is a wide number of comps and you just pick some of those and you kind of sit in the middle of them. And Christmas cozies, there are Christmas cozies that exist, absolutely. It's a small niche, but they're quite varied. And so I really had to decide, like, what did I want to fit in with this? And I'm enjoying that process in a way that previously I would have just felt like, I'm stuck. I'm sort of spinning my wheels. I don't know what to do. Go backwards and forwards in the same thoughts. And I have the energy to do that. So I'm not saying you need to be doing social media. I'm saying like
No.
I feel like mindset-wise, it's such a change for me.
Yeah, the not having to go to a day job really frees you up for so much more creativity than like, yeah, I spend a lot of my energy being funny at work.
Yeah.
which is really my main job, is to be the best person at work. And I really am. But when I come home, I don't need to perform anymore, so I kind of just stop. But I have got I love saving posts on Instagram to recreate, and I have started saving posts which are what I call face posts, and I save people's videos that they do, which I think like, oh, if I did some of these, and it doesn't even have to be talking to the camera, it's just me doing stuff and then putting text or voiceover, and I really want to just try and just lean in a little bit with those sorts of things. And right now, and I feel back, every day I think I should be doing one of these a day. In the morning when I'm getting ready, I could be doing this, but I've already overstacked my mornings anyway, so I think I'm just going to try and do them during the weekends and just batch film a few things and then see how they go.
Yeah. I was even thinking of just like, oh, why don't you just like film a video while you're driving to work and just talk about stuff? Like, that takes so much mental energy to kind of like be in a good mood, to talk about one thing that you've kind of sorted out a little bit in your brain, and to then not have to retake it. And it definitely feels like I can actively appreciate, as I'm making my videos now, how much my brain's benefiting from not working. Like, I never re-record stuff. I don't have any like preamble or post bits. It's just like, I'm just going to speak for a minute and a half and I know confidently that's going to be what the video is. And like, for anyone who's watched them, I want no critiques. I'm not saying they're professional, great videos. I'm just
don't
saying,
go and look.
feel free to look, but I don't want feedback. But they're just like, if I feel like they are meeting my goals, and previously I have felt really like frustrated by maybe I had an idea and it didn't come out right, and I was like, oh, like you, like I would make a video and then delete it or do nothing with it, and then that just feels really defeating. It feels like you've sort of wasted your energy twice, the energy of making something and the energy of deciding to delete it. Yeah, I know. I mean, definitely one thing, like I said, has helped is like having a specific series. That's less creative energy. And when we did those like social object posts for 60 days, that was a huge help for me. So if anyone is kind of wanting to start doing something like this, who is like me, has spent literally 2 years wanting to be better at social media, nowadays it feels like with like increase in AI, which can I just say, I'm in a book funnel promotion at the moment, and it is astounding how similar the covers are. Like, these people must have gone on the same course. They have the exact same wording on the front cover, which I was like, have I missed this being on the front cover of every cozy mystery? No, it's just on a bunch of cozies that have been created recently that are definitely AI. Like, and that's fine, but it's like those covers are not getting as many clicks as my cover, which looks quite different for the cozy genre and is so beautiful, but not necessarily like the what you'd be taught to make if you were doing a how to make cozy mystery course. But those people cannot do any sort of human face to face like promotion, and I can, and I can build an audience. And we've got an episode coming up soon about like building more reader connections. But loads of authors that I know at the moment, you know, cozy authors in particular, are doing videos like I'm doing about like, here's a 1 to 2 minute update on my writing day, because it's an easy thing you can do that makes you more human to your readers. And I feel so glad that I'm at a stage now where I can be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna hop on and do it. It doesn't feel difficult. It doesn't feel like, oh, I should be doing that, but I hate it. I'm gonna do it for once and then not do it. I felt no stress about the idea of like, yeah, I've started a new book today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start that series I thought about. A delight with ease. I feel like I'm in my genius zone right now. Like I am living with ease. Which just I mean,
we've just like we've gone through all the trials, and we were saying this before we started recording. I think we said this last week in our mastermind as well, where we said we feel like the only thing that really is holding us back is just the sales, because everything else is fine. Like I feel like everything else is fine. I don't feel, I mean, obviously everyone can make their business better. I'm sure there's like loads of things I'm not doing right in my business, but in terms of like the important stuff, everything's fine. And it's just, and this is what we were saying when had our mastermind. Hold on to the thought, Sam, hold on to the thought. We have books that are worthy of being bought. I 100% believe that my books, my latest books, not my very first books, but my most recent books are worthy of being bought. They're not trash. They are like they're fine. They're good. They deserve to have people pay for them. And I've never felt like that before. I've always felt like go on.
I had a wobble on that the other day, and it was just the day when like several things came up at once that kind of made me feel a bit like, oh, are my books good? Have I imagined that? Like, I'm sure I thought they were good. They imagined it. And I literally just read the beginning of a couple of my books in my currency. I was like, these are so good. These are like, I know that sounds really big-headed, but like I'm not one to say that about my own work out of nowhere, but like they felt, and I've read so many cozy mysteries recently. Like I've really, really been upping my reading, and not just the Christmassy ones that I wrote. I've just been reading tons and tons of cozies, even just the beginnings of them, and kind of trying to get my voice. 'Cause I'm trying to write a first-person book, so I wanted to make sure I had read various options as well to give me a sense of voice. And so I'm able to read my books like I'm reading a stranger's book, and the beginnings of them are so enchanting. Like, I am straight in that cozy world. And I was like, this is exactly what I wanted from the books. And it feels great. And then when I read other people's books, I was like, oh, this is confusing and hard to get into. Is mine like that? No. Yeah. And it just feels really good.
That is how I feel about my books. And I think maybe sometimes this has been my downfall as well as a positive thing, is I've always loved my own books. In the same way that I always like to hear myself talking, and I
like the sound of my voice. It sounds good. I can about this. I like my face on video. I'm great.
Yeah, I like my face. I will record things on Instagram, like the stories and stuff. I'll rewatch my own stuff. I love it.
All the time. I watch all our clips.
I love watching myself talk. Like, even I like hearing myself sing. I think I'm great. So sometimes that's definitely...
I am great at singing.
I know like my older books definitely could be better, but I still have always enjoyed reading them. And yeah, I'm glad. I do think I'm a lot better now. My most recent book, when I reread the first chapter, I love it. And it actually sounded super smart. Like the writing was so good. I thought, did I actually write this? Has AI come in here and done something to this book? I have no recollection of writing like these beautiful words. So yeah, I really like my own writing. So
when I started this current series, I'm like 6 books in now, but I had various friends, who read the first book when it came out. And more than one person said what I would say is not an appropriate thing to say to a writer. Which is just like, gosh, your writing gets so much better. Which I was like, that's an inside your head thought. Don't say it to someone's face.
Yeah.
But these people that I'm not offended by. And I was like, it was nice that they felt so positive about my current work. They could say that. Like, they meant it as a compliment. Even though objectively that's an insult. Anyway. And I was like, I do feel that way. And also I feel great about that. Because I can definitely, like, I used to write a lot of literary fiction, and I would just, like, write a book every couple of years and then spend the whole time just agonizing over how to edit it and, like, resting it for a while, making notes on what to do about it, changing the whole format of it and rewriting the first chapter in different ways. Like, the amount of writing I've done since then, like, since starting to be like, oh, every book I wrote had a murder in it, I should write murder mysteries. The amount of improvement in my writing has seen since then is just astronomical. And I would hate to live in a world where I had just stayed at writing like 20,000 words a year and never improving, like never understanding plot more. And now I feel like my new series, I am making a bigger picture with it. Like it's more, it's closer to like a straight mystery series rather than a cozy mystery series. Or I'm going to try and pitch it that way because I think it's got more about like personal growth and things in it. And I could never have done that coming from the other direction, coming from like focusing just on books about like someone's character arc rather than plot-driven drama fiction, because I just didn't write enough, and I didn't make the same mistakes over and over again. And I feel so able to see my own improvement. It sounds like we're drunk today, like, but we are drunk on our own power. We're so happy.
I was gonna say I was almost gonna have a drink before we started this, and I didn't, mostly because my tequila ran out. But yeah, we are drunk on our own success. Almost successes, future success. But it's funny because we updated, I don't know if the eagle-eared, sharp-eared, how would you say somebody with good hearing?
Yeah, I don't know something.
Eagle-eared.
Owl-eared? I don't think eagles got good hearing. Owls have got good hearing, do they? Yeah.
Owl, fox.
Owl-eared? They've got very small ears.
Fox
we'll work on that later.
Yeah, it's fine. We're writers.
Sharp-eared.
The sharp-eared amongst you may have heard in our intro that we have updated our little blurb to we are 2 indie authors with over 24 books between us rather than 12 books. And those books really creep up on you, how many books you write, that we only just realised today, like, actually, that's wrong. We have written so many books. I mean, you really have been carrying us with that. But
but lengthwise, probably written the same amount, but like I just publish them in small books.
Yeah. So we have written so much to get to this stage. And we could have had instant success at some, if we'd have written for genre and, gone into it with that in mind of really specifically writing to be famous. But
yeah, if I wasn't too scared to Google what a shadow daddy is, I think we'd be rich and famous.
Oh yeah, 100%. but we didn't. We came at it from our like artistic love of books and creating, and we've put in the work. We really have, and I don't begrudge, and I definitely have said this before, I don't begrudge the path that I've taken to get here.
No,
I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be doing anything else with my life. I'm glad that I've spent the last 10 or however many years plus doing this, because what else was I supposed to be doing? Like getting married and having kids? That's not for me.
Yeah,
that's not for me.
But yeah, like the journey is the thing.
I'm happy to be on this journey, and to be on this journey with you, just to get super sappy. I know.
Should we get married?
I might cry. It's been great. It's all worked out as it should have, and whatever's going to happen next is fate.
Yeah. Or like I'm fine with whatever it is. I think that's a positive thing. It's like even if my Christmas series isn't like a series that helps me level up, I'm writing the series knowing that's the case, right? I'm specifically writing in a small niche, knowing that this might not be a great way to make money, because I know I've got 2 years worth of money. Therefore, in year 1, I wanted to make more of a pitch. I wanted to do something like, I think with everything I know now, I think it will make money, but it might not. And there's a good chance it might not. Whereas in year two, I'm like, I'm going to try and write a series where I feel like I know it will make money. And again, it might not, but like, that's fine either way. But I'm
Yeah.
intentionally writing a series where I believe there's a space in the market for more books in this niche. I've got ideas of how to grow it. I have got the right mix of like things inside me and like love of Christmas and coziness and like understanding the market to write it right now. And it feels like if it works, it will feel like really good validation of this journey.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I knew I had to do all
Yeah.
those things for a reason.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I have always known the sorts of books that I wanted to write, but could never write them because I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the skill. I didn't have the not courage, but maybe courage to go as hard as I want to with like the books that I want to write. But now I'm at a point where I know what I want my next books to be, and I know the genre, and I know the complete vibe, and I couldn't have got to this point where I feel like I'm capable of writing these books. Like that's the thing. I think like I'm so capable of writing the books that I want to write now. I couldn't have done it back then. Like my first attempts to do it were so soft, and I do think that it's so funny. And I felt it at the time as well. The first books that I published, they weren't. I knew what the stories were, but I couldn't deliver. Yeah. And now I feel like I can deliver now, and I'm okay with how long it's taken because it has to take you long. Even if you do get sudden success, you're still gonna have to put in 10+ years because you have to keep going. So.
Yeah.
And
I think you can't necessarily repeat it because you don't know what you'd get there.
Yeah.
And some people absolutely do just have, the right alchemy, the right mix of like natural talents to just keep going. That's fine. But like, I think those people hear about a lot because it's magical and weird. And yeah, I would always rather, I love learning, so I would always rather take the long learning path than like instant success.
Yeah.
And I've got time. It's fine.
Yeah,
I would like my next couple of series to be instant successes. Now I'm ready for that now.
I'm ready for the money right now. Like I'm saying this to the universe. Like I'm ready for the money.
Yeah.
I couldn't be more ready to make money from this. So send it my way.
Yeah. I think I do. That's a big focus for me this year. Like I still feel like we had last week's episode about money. I still feel like I've got a lot of money blocks, and I would not feel comfortable earning lots of money. Like I really wouldn't. I would like it objectively, but it would not make me feel comfortable. I would not feel comfort in that. And I would like to get to a stage before I earn all that money where I can feel comfortable accepting it and like bring in more and do more to bring in more. So that is a big thing I want to do this year. Is like I know where I want to be with my concept of money and my ambition for money, and I am not there yet, and I don't want to accept where I am. I want to be like having a millionaire mindset and like feeling deserving of lots of money, which I do not feel right now.
Oh, I deserve.
And I don't know why.
I feel like I deserve a lot. Yeah, I really feel like it, and I feel like I don't know if I did this on socials, and I can't remember if I spoke about it on the podcast, but I did like a witchy woo woo 12 wishes for the new year thing. So the 12 days before the new year, you you write down 12 wishes that you want for the year, and every night on the night leading up to New Year, like for 12 nights, you burn a wish without looking to see what that wish is. So you burn a wish every night, and on New Year's Eve, the last wish that you've got is the one that you're going to take care of, and the other ones that you've burnt, the universe will take care of. And the ones that I asked the universe to take care of were very money focused, and so I told the universe what I wanted. And I'm just waiting.
Bringing you money.
The universe is bringing me all sorts of things. I really didn't dream that big actually, but it was still. I put them out there because I feel like I'm ready.
Yeah.
So
I think I want to be ready to dream big. Like, and I'm not. And I think, yeah, it feels like a very meta thought, but like I think I want to think big.
Yeah.
But I can't think big.
Yeah.
So that's how big my thoughts are now, that I should think big.
Yes, I don't. This is the problem that I kind of have is I don't know how to think any bigger, but I know that I'm not thinking as big as I can. And you can't put that, I can't really explain that in any way. There's no example that I can give you to explain what that means. I just know that there are bigger thoughts to be had. And I
Yeah.
can't, right now, I can't. I mean, and it's just like where I'm at the point in my writing where I feel like I've got the tools to write the books that I want. I don't have the tools up here to think the thoughts that I want.
Mhm. Yeah,
I don't know
that
when
you're
that'll
better
come.
than I am about like more like thoughts that are outside of your control. So like about things like, oh, I want to have a TV series made or a movie made in my books. It's like I never think about that. And like I daydream about like the concept of it, as in like, oh, what, like this would make a cool scene in a film or whatever. Like I don't ever in any way imagine that could happen in my life, because I am in a very real sense mist over trees in my life.
Don't steal my
as many are.
identity. Yes, I am
But
Miss Over
yeah,
Trees, but I'm very corporeal these days.
that's the tagline of the episode. Sam, surprisingly corporeal.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to
Yeah.
have, I feel like I do have big dreams, but I don't feel like I have big ideas or thoughts about my immediate life. I know, like, I can dream big about, oh, I'd love to make a film or a TV show, but I've always felt, even as a child, I've always felt like I was destined to be part of TV or movies. I always have done. And I remember once saying to my mum or my dad or like one of them, like, I couldn't understand why there were people in the world who didn't try and get on a TV show or a film, like that they wouldn't be involved in some way in TV and films. And my parents were just like just people just aren't. And I couldn't, like, I still remember being a kid and thinking this and thinking, but if you wanted to, why wouldn't you? So I've always had that in me. But I think that there are like more realistic things that I can't think big about realistic things. It's just like really just weird stuff that I can really dream big on. But like just normal stuff like, oh, imagine owning a house, or like just anything like that just feels insane to me.
Yeah. Can you really imagine though? Can you imagine like quitting your job and making a full-time income from writing?
Yes,
So I
yes.
think I can just about imagine making a full-time income from writing, but I can't imagine like making seven figures. That like not for me.
I imagine it, I can imagine it well enough. The thing that I can't imagine so much is, or I don't understand it enough, or I don't want to think about it enough, is the net gross reality. Just
Yeah.
so you know, it's like I could be making what? I could be making six figures, but realistically, what am I actually pulling from that? Like how much work?
Yeah.
And I definitely said this last week, is that I don't really want to put a like have to slog to make a load of money,
Yeah.
and actually 70% of that is I've already
Gone.
spent it, like it's gone already. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the part that I don't really want to think about or can't think about. It's a part of life that I don't enjoy. The idea that I'd have to spend that much to make, it's just
I
that
think
whole
one of
thing
the
of
issues is with like the indie publishing thing is like in other businesses, right? Like I've had quite high up jobs in other businesses, and you do have a lot of expenses, but they're expenses you can see, and they're very like everyday things, like the building that we work in, the people that like do the work, the pens that we use, we have paid for all those because we need those to run the business. Whereas it's like in the self-publishing business, it's like the money that I gave to Mark Zuckerberg, the money that I gave to Jeff Bezos, and the small amount of money left over for me. It's like, we're not friends, me and Mark and Jeff. Like, why am I paying them? They're not working for me. And it just
No.
feels like intangible. It feels like a loss. And I can definitely see why lots of people want organic growth, organic social media posts rather than ads, because the ads just feel like invisible nonsense. And I
Yes.
find that really hard to conceive of. Like the idea of having like six figures in your gross and then taking home like a standard paycheck. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I want a six-figure life.
Yes, exactly. I think that is such a it's what's the word that I'm trying to think of? It's like a lie that people tell
Yeah.
themselves. I'm a six-figure, not even a six-figure author, but just in general, I'm a
I
millionaire.
don't think it is a lie. I think it would feel like a lie to us. I think that's the way we think about authenticity.
Yes.
I think it would feel like that's not the thing I wanted. I wanted six figures to be like, on a bed,
Yeah.
laying in it,
In my
like,
account.
fanning it out. Yeah. I want to be sleeping on a bed of like
I think
notes.
It's I think this is very much tied into the idea that, like, as an indie author, you yourself, you're the business, and that's the difficult thing. That's like the
Yeah, so I should have all the money.
yes, like, got to try and separate state from religion and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's a different kind of mindset thing that we can't cover today.
But that is interesting in that, like, all the rest of the episode, and like for all of our other mindset episodes, we're talking about ourselves and how we feel. And this, towards the end of this episode, is really the kind of the first transition towards like how it feels to be a business. Epiphany. This is like a real transition because we definitely have now, we've like fully mastered, and we'll never struggle again with personal mindset issues.
Our identity is fine.
Yeah,
we are secure in who we
don't
are.
need therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the next phase of mindset episodes, is like how we conceive of that like professionalization.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't talk about this, and it feels childish. It feels childish to have that thought of like, oh, but I want all the money, and it's like that's just how I feel. I'm not saying that's the right way to think. Like, it's not going to change if I don't think about it. So I want to talk about it and think about it, and be able to be annoyed about that.
No, I 100% agree. It is a good epiphany to have, because I really thought that I was like free from from like the sad thoughts. But yes, that's the next level that we're at, I think, is the idea of like person versus business, and the reality of that. Whew. Okay, now I'm spiraling it. No, I'm joking. I'm fine.
It's like when you climb a mountain, it's like always another peak ahead of you. Like, oh, another peak. I thought it was at the top. I think it's just that forever now for the rest of our lives. That's fine.
That's okay. But we are leveling up anyway, like regardless. So that's fine. You've got to defeat 100%. The bosses. Like, it's like when you play Mario and every castle you get to is just a fake. Like, Peach isn't actually here. Sorry.
A tiny little flag goes up. Yeah.
Which everyone can relate to, surely. That's not an age thing. Mario is ageless.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I like that. I like playing Mario, so I'll play Mario in life.
Yeah. That's how we think about businesses, like grown-ups.
Yeah. Yes. Just like Mario. Have you got anything else to say on this topic, or shall we wrap it up? Because I didn't think it was going to be this long of an episode.
Yeah. I know. When we're like 20 minutes, I was like, I think we've probably done that. Like, it sounds like we're both just great and we're happy. No, my head hurts a little bit from all this like thinking. I feel a little bit like I need to do some just sitting here and staring at the wall for a while. So
yes,
that's where I'm at.
Perfect.
How about you?
Me too. Yeah, my head does hurt a little bit. So I think I might just go and doom scroll on my phone before I go to bed.
Me too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So next week we are looking into how to build community. So what do we mean by this?
Wow. In fact, we're going to do 2 episodes of Build a Community because we are that good. First episode is about building community with other writers. So like what you might call networking if you are an unpleasant corporate sort. But really just like building people around you who are going to help. And then the second episode is going to be about how you build community with your readers. And that is something I'm definitely struggling with at the moment. I feel like I have really, I was saying this before we started, like just gained no end from my network of authors. Like, it's the best thing I've ever done is be more present with other authors.
Yes.
And I've got loads to talk about for that next week. And the week after, building community with readers, I do not want to think about at all, and I do not enjoy it, and I need to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah, the same. I can't wait to talk about community with other writers next week, because I feel like I am the newest person to really get into that. I feel like that was a lot of my progress over the last 2 years was really that, about finding community and feeling like I was part of something. So I'm really looking forward to talking about that. And that's what we'll do. So until then, thank you very much for listening. You can head over to our Ko-fi if you want to donate some money to the podcast, because we've got bills to pay. Didn't you just hear us talking about money?
We're not rich.
The money. Yeah, we're not rich people. So if you want to donate, then please do. Don't need a lot of money. Just a few pounds here and there would be very grateful to receive that. And also don't forget to head to our Discord, because that is where some of the community that we're going to be talking about next week is.
Loads of community. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. It's free to join. There is a link in the show notes, and it's a very cool place to hang out if you are somebody who likes hanging out online. That's it. Thank you very much, and we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to Pen to Paycheck Authors.
Stay tuned for our next episode, and don't forget to subscribe to learn how to write your way to financial success.